Welcome, Let Freedom Ring. Before I do anything, I just want to say this show is dedicated to the memory of Francesca Boulter, my sister-in-law's dog. Fran, Laura had Fran since 2008, I believe. Even had her before I ever met her, but she did pass away yesterday. It was a beautiful dog. We loved her a lot. My nephew's taking it kind of hard, so we're going to miss you, Fran. But my guest this week, Lauren Boulter, welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome.
Yeah, no, pleasure to have you here. Let's get to know you just a little bit. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, and I moved to New Hampshire when I was 12. I moved to Amherst, New Hampshire.
Oh, nice. Now, so I got to ask this because I am kind of a fan of them, but I'm a Red Sox fan. Were you a Braves fan growing up?
I was a huge Braves fan, like tomahawk chop, the whole deal. I was actually really lucky when I was younger. I was in a honors chorus, and I got to sing the national anthem at the Hawks and the Falcons games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The Hawks weren't doing well at all back then, but it was still great.
Dominique Wilkins, was he the guy then? I'm trying to remember the
I can't tell you. It was like I don't even know if you were alive. It was like 1993.
Oh, yeah,
92.
very much alive.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And so Amherst, probably Sauhegan?
Yeah, I went to Sauhegan. Now I live in Londonderry.
Oh, nice. Now I got to ask this. What are 3 things that everybody should know about you?
First thing is that I love Jesus. Second thing is that being a mom means everything to me. I have a 8-year-old daughter named Arya. She was named after Arya on Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And the third thing is that I have made some mistakes in my life and that I am stronger because of it.
Nice. All right. So, a big Game of Thrones fan. I got to ask this. I didn't follow the show.
Okay.
But I saw one episode when King Joffrey died. Spoiler alert. It happened to be. Ending of the show or the last season, a lot of people were upset. Were you in that category or did you not have a problem with it?
The last season?
Yeah.
I was pretty mad. I tried to go with it. I tried to make the best of it. And then the last episode happened, and I was like, it can't end like this. So, but I've heard there's going to be a spinoff with Jon Snow, but I don't know if that's just internet rumors. But if there was, I'll watch anything Game of Thrones related.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting because I'm a big Sopranos fan, and I hated the ending.
Yeah, me too.
But now, I don't know about you, but over the years, I've been like, wait a second. Maybe that was the way to end it. No real, I don't know. I hated it then, and now I'm kind of like slowly accepting of it.
Yeah, I can see that. I still didn't feel like it was enough of an ending for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a couple of HBO shows that I've really gotten into, and then they cancel it. There's one called Carnival, and then another one that they made recently called The Nevers.
Okay.
And they quit it. They made half a season, and then they never finished the full season.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They just didn't get, did they even say?
No, they were just like, we hate this show. So.
Too funny. Now I got to ask this. This is the money question on Let Freedom Ring. Sticking with the theme of the show, we get many different answers because it means a lot of different things to different people. But what does it mean to you to be an American?
Wow. I want to go with something. I don't want to go something that's so simple. That's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you quoting the Constitution, but to be an American, I think of my daughter and what it is. She's 8 right now, so I'm thinking about what I'm teaching her. And to be an American it's, it is freedom. It's everything that we have. I was lucky enough, I lived in Australia for 8 months and came back here feeling more proud of being an American, than ever. I loved Australia. Like I would, I would go back for an extended time, but this is my home and I'm proud of it. And I'm, having a little person to kind of mold and explain, like, this is your country. You need to have love and pride in your country. It's not the easiest of jobs. Her dad and I are great friends, but that's not necessarily a priority to him. And so teaching her that, like, 4th of July isn't just a barbecue day, that there's a reason for it, stuff like that. So Memorial Day, like we talk about, why do we have Memorial Day? Stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if I answered the question.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm very proud of where I'm from, in what we stand for. Am I proud of every little detail of it? No, I don't think there's anything that in life that, that happens. You know what I mean? Like, I'm big on that, definitely, though. I love the 4th of July. I love all the holidays. It's good to think about really what they mean, and no, that's a good answer. Now I want to talk about this. You like myself, I'm in recovery, not as long. I like to say recovery more than sobriety.
Me too.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you said that, because someone came up to me the other day and they said, Dan, you quit drinking. I go, I didn't necessarily just quit drinking. I went to recovery. I didn't just.
It's like a lifestyle.
Yeah. It's not. I don't look at it that way, I guess.
Yeah.
But how did you decide that you wanted to go into recovery? How did you decide you want to get sober?
So for me, I was 29 and, drinking is a progression and, alcoholism and everything that goes along with that. But the final straw for me was kind of putting myself through public humiliation. I went up to my sorority at Keene State for an alumni event and drank a lot, and we were at this like very polite wine and cheese night, and everybody got like 2 drink tickets, and there was somebody there who was pregnant, and she was like, here, take my drink tickets. And then other people were just drinking like 1 thing of wine, and I took their other ticket, and then eventually I just took the bottle. I just walked up, the guy wasn't looking, took the bottle, and I had been drinking before, and I ended up that night, I was blacked out, and they asked if anybody had anything to say, and I gave a speech. And I gave a speech on seat belts. And, I don't really remember it. But that was like the final thing. That whole next week, I tried to get drunk. I had prayed, like, help me, I need to stop this. No matter how much I drank, I couldn't get drunk. And, I just really feel like my higher power helped me to really get there. I didn't lose my job. I never got in trouble at work. I didn't lose my car. I lost some friends, but I was 29 and I was just so lucky that nothing, it never went too far. I've heard, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of meetings, and I've heard all the stories, and, they say not to compare, but it's like, I know what'll happen if I drink again. I'll get to experience all those things that I didn't before. So yeah, that's kind of what brought me here, and I stopped drinking. My last drink was November 19th, 2011.
Oh, wow, nice.
And yeah, so it's been 11 and a half years. It'll be 12 years in November.
Oh, congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
It definitely, I'm with you too. It's like, you know, I still checked all the boxes. I never got arrested. I never had any issues with, I didn't really have any issues, work, anything really. Like, it's just, it was taking over me. And, you know, it's that saying, because I can relate to that, you know. Well, I was taking everybody's drink tickets or at the bottle. It's one is too many and 1,000's never enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that is one of the hardest things with alcoholism. Like, and I'm with you. I know I can't drink like a normal person.
Yep.
I can't.
No, I literally can't.
Now, what keeps you sober? What keeps you in recovery?
Literally, you know, it might sound so cliche, but it's just living one day at a time. That idea of just like waking up fresh each day and not drinking. That's what's worked for me. I sponsor women. I have a sponsor. I used to be really active in the young people scene. I was on the advisory committee for NHSSC for 6 years. And, you know, going to meetings. I don't do that as much. But, yeah, those are the things that I do. I'm in touch with a lot of sober or women in recovery. And I'm an admin for a Facebook group for that's local and international.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is so important because you really gotta, you know, almost like I heard it when I was in treatment. Just the, you know, your sober network. It's so important, and it is amazing to find people that are, you know. I think we've said it on the show before. I thought I was unique, you know. There's a lot of people in this, you know. But no, that's awesome. Well, what has changed in your life overall now? I mean, you know, this is just kind of your, you know, 11 and a half years. That's a long time. How did things change?
So, you know, I was 29, and then I went through all of my 30s. I got married. I had a child. I had a child before I got married. We'll be honest there. I got divorced. I've changed jobs a couple of times. I've gone through the hardest times in my life in recovery and sober. And it's I can't imagine trying to do any of that while drinking. I wouldn't have anything that I have today. But I did want to say one thing to you because you just hit 6 months. I brought you a little something.
Oh, okay.
And it says, "I'm proud of you." It's a little coaster.
Oh, nice, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be putting that right on my table at home. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely been, you know, 6 months does feel like a lifetime, you know, at this point. But the benefits have definitely. I was dying. I mean, I'll be quite frank. I was dying. You could see it in my face. You know, now people come up to me and, Dan, you look thinner. I'm like, and you just look better. And I'm like, yeah, I am. You know, I am doing better. But like, you know, just even, you know, playing softball, like, it started to look like I just wasn't a good player anymore. or that's how maybe people were taking it. And now it's like I'm back to where I was, before it got, I've always been an alcoholic. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But you're right, the progression is for real. It doesn't get better, it gets worse. And I remember, being in college thinking, I'm going to grow out of this.
Yep.
And you don't.
No. No, I went through a horrible, breakup situation, and that's when I started like daily drinking. And I thought, once I get over this, I'll be fine. And I saw a therapist who had me take like a pencil and paper, are you an alcoholic test, and I was like, I'll take this, I'll be fine, I'll pass it. And yeah, boy did I bomb that. Yeah, it was eye-opening to me. I didn't have a breakup problem, I had a full-blown alcohol problem. But yeah, it's an incredible thing. I mean, you're talking about when you first came in. I first came in and my skin was gray, like just this gray color that I couldn't even imagine looking like that now. Like just this sickness, and like how did I get there? Like I know exactly how I got there, but I'm just so full of life now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and again, yeah, like you said, it's that progression. Like, when I was 14, I never thought, hey, you're gonna go to a treatment facility for alcoholism. Never thought that in a million years. I didn't even know what that was,
Right.
to be quite frank. I thought only, rock musicians went to rehab. You know what I mean? Like, but no, I mean, and I could say, like, and I don't know how you felt when I because you go in cycles, like the pink cloud's a real thing. And, but it, and then it goes away, but then it comes back. And it's like, what I've learned is like, I thought for so long I needed alcohol to enjoy everything or enhance everything. And it's just not true. I mean, I've gone to concerts now. I saw Janet Jackson, I saw TLC, and I was like, this was so unbelievable. And I'm like, other concerts I went to, it's, you're in the beer line for how long you are, you know what I mean? And then you get so drunk you don't remember the thing, and then it's like, well, great concert, but you're not living in the moment of it.
No.
So, was there a lot of activities that you found early on in recovery that you were like, wow, I really enjoy this more than I realized?
Well, I found out that like I can dance. Not saying I'm a good dancer, but I found out that I didn't need alcohol to dance.
Yep. Now, I agree. I mean, I've done karaoke sober.
Yes, I love that.
It is a thing, and I look back now. I think I was about 10 years older when I finally got the help that I needed. But yeah, it's just a big transition, But anyways, I do want to talk about something else I find really cool about you, and I've noticed this on your posts on Facebook, and I've always been like, that is so awesome. You said, now I gotta ask, why do you believe co-parenting is so important when the relationship doesn't work out? Because I applaud what I see there, because I hate to say that I know a lot of people on social media or just in their everyday life, they rather just throw their ex-partner under the bus, and it's them, not me, and that type of stuff. And I see that a lot, and it's frustrating because I believe everybody's a human being. But why is it so important?
Co-parenting to me is like, I can't even explain not just like how important it is, but like, I could say like I do it for my daughter, but I don't. Like I do it for myself, for my ex-husband, and for Aria as well. Like, when we first separated, it wasn't pretty, and I don't really know anybody who's ever had like an experience that is where there's not some animosity, or if it's jealousy. Like, luckily we didn't have that, but like, or just anger, whatever the case may be. But what we did is we had an amazing mediator, right from the beginning. Skipped the lawyers, went to a mediator, and talked about like what's going to be best for Aria, and set that parenting plan first. So before any of the finances were brought in, before any of the property stuff was brought in, it was like, let's get this parenting plan done. And I had set up some like schedules, some like mock schedules, because like at the beginning everything's so raw, and we just kind of looked at, at the very beginning, it's just like, what do you need? What do I need? And let's not attack each other for that. Like, I used to go to like a meeting every Tuesday night, so it was important that I had Tuesday night to myself. He had something on another night, so like we based our schedules around that. We have a really great schedule that works for us. But I think what really comes down to it is when it doesn't work out and when it's fresh and new, leaning on other people, getting into therapy as fast as possible, so that you're not taking out all that whatever you're feeling and putting it back onto that person, because that person's feeling the same way too. But co-parenting to me now, Eric is like, he's one of my best friends. I talked to him earlier today, and a lot of times we're talking about our daughter, but sometimes we're just checking in, because if one of us isn't okay, like, the other one can help out. Like, like earlier today I got some like weird health news, and he's like, okay, how can I help? Mm-hmm. And and like I've stayed really good friends with his family. It did not happen overnight. It took like 3 years. But we do Christmases together. We do like when it's my birthday, we go out, the three of us. We try to do something like every week. Like we go to church sometimes, the three of us. And honestly too, it's a lot easier because neither of us are in relationships. So we both know that when that happens, it's going to get more complicated, but we're prepared and ready for that. And I think the biggest thing in co-parenting that we did in our parenting plan was we had an agreement that says that when one of us starts seeing somebody, Aria can't meet that person for 6 months. So that weeds out people who, like if it's 3 months in and somebody's like out, she's not exposed to them. Mm-hmm. And at 6 months, that's a substantial amount of time. It's a long time. And we'll meet the other person, like the adults will all meet first and all of that. So yeah, I know that was a long answer, but
no, I think I do think that's good. I think that's a tough thing because kids don't really understand adult business really, or like what goes on. So like, you could end up dating somebody and they like them but it doesn't work out with you, and then okay, they're just out of the picture.
Yeah.
I think that's good though, because I think you said you had a mediator, and I think that's good. It's like a lot of people are thrown into situations, and it's like most things in life no one has training on, right? Like, and they're just thrown in these situations, and it's like, well, figure it out. Um, no, I think that's really cool. And I have to say, like, and I was saying, I appreciate that you put that out there, because there's a lot of bad things with social media, but I think like your story might help other people, and at the end of the day, help the kids at the end of the, because
Yeah.
the kids do not want to deal with the drama adults have.
No.
you know?
No, we keep that very separate. Like, it's really awful when a parent says to a kid, like, your dad is this, or like, I can't believe your mom said that. Like, co-parenting really alleviates that stuff, and you're working together as a team for the kid. And I also work with women who are going through this. Some who have been divorced for 10 years and they just now are really interested in, like, how can I bridge this connection, or even very freshly separated people, like, what can I do? And a lot of it has come from Facebook, from Eric and I posting and tagging each other and stuff like that. I mean, if I post a picture of Arya doing something, I'll usually tag him in it if it's like a big life event. But yeah, it's been a great gift, and we both worked really hard on ourselves to get here.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I do. And there are a lot of people that are doing that. Do you think our generation's better with that in some aspects than like previous generations?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I think in some ways our divorce rate is so much higher, and also so many people don't get married,
Mm-hmm.
that they kind of, yeah, it might be easier. Like, not necessarily easier, but like with social media, like, I think it can go both sides. Like, a lot of times people want to show what's positive, but then there's also the people who just drag their exes right through the mud, right in public. And those are the people that, like, I'll reach out to.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see that, and I'll see a post like that and be like, "What are you thinking? Like, what?" I've always been one that's felt like, because I did have an ex that said some things about me that, listen, I'm not perfect, but there were some things that just weren't, like, there's two sides to every story.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say, what I have noticed, or what I take in, when someone goes online and puts someone on blast, a lot of times in my head say they're the problem. Because, I know from my own case, and this is a long time ago, I didn't say anything. In fact, the breakup happened, I said, I'm going to get off here for a little bit, and I'm not going to say anything to anybody unless, if they ask me a question, I'll answer it honestly, but I'm not going out of my way to drag somebody's name. And I just see that, and I always go, listen to the Taylor Swift song, "Hey, it's me, I'm the problem." What would you say to people that struggle after, with having children and it breaking up and not working out? What would you say to them?
I would say to get into therapy for yourself first, and, like, really take care of yourself, because nobody else is going to do it. Yeah, it's hard, and I think a lot of people are quick to want to jump into a new relationship, but that first relationship out of a divorce or a separation is like ends up just being brutal. And I'm not saying that just for me. It was definitely brutal for me. But I know probably 15 women and men who, you know, go into a new relationship thinking that this person's going to be the one, they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and like it's not. It's just like a projection, and you're not ready, and all those feelings get put onto a person. So I mean, for me, it's like do the work that you have to do on yourself, and really take it slow in that next relationship.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I do, you know, and everybody's different. I do notice there are a lot of people that are, they got to jump to the next thing. And I've in my life, I've never felt that way. Like a lot of times I'm just happy by myself.
Yeah.
You know, but I have friends that are like that. And I go, what are you doing? Like, and I'm like, but that's their journey and that's how they are. But I'm like, do you really need this right now? Or like, I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
know?
I don't know. I need to like get over someone before I can be healthy with somebody else.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, it's interesting. Everybody's so different, and every person has different needs, different wants, and it does, there's never a dull moment in life, that's for sure. I do want to get to the fan questions. You did have one from Pat Conley, former guest of the show. And Pat says, first off, congratulations on your 11.5-year path. Best of luck in his continuation. It's good. It's a good day to have a good day. I like that, Pat.
I love that.
Now he wants to know, because we also talked about this when we posted for the show. How long have you been a special ed teacher, and what made you want to get into special ed?
Well, before switching into special ed, I was working for the government for about 8.5 years. I was working for Social Security Disability, doing disability determinations.
Okay.
And like that wasn't it. That just was not it. And I couldn't really tell you why I was staying, but I was a teacher when I first got out of college. I taught 7th grade language arts, and then I took a year off to try 3 different things. So one of them was being the league manager of New Hampshire Sports and Social Club.
I do want to talk about that too.
Yeah, for sure. One was being like the daytime manager at Murphy's.
Okay.
Like the bar. And then I did something else. And then I ended up working after that in like a kids section related of the government, and then this other job came along, so I just took it. And I was miserable, and I stayed way too long. I have a master's degree in emotional and behavioral disorders.
Okay.
And part of it is I got licensed in special ed. So this job, it was one of these things where like my higher power totally got involved. I said to my mom on the phone, like, I think I want to go back to teaching. And then I picked up Aria from some like karate night thing, and I saw a friend there, and I was like, you know, I want to go back to teaching. And she goes, well, let's talk to my husband, because he's an assistant principal. And they had a job opening working with kids that really struggle emotionally. And I interviewed along with some other people. I ended up getting the job. So this will be my 3rd year there.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. Are you allowed to say what district it is? Or?
It's like 20 minutes from my house.
Oh, okay. No, that's awesome. I mean, I used to work in the schools for a while. I do miss it. I used to work JMUS right here.
Oh, cool.
And I do miss some of that, but I don't know. I don't think not something I'd want to go back to, but I did enjoy the time that I was there.
Yeah,
you know?
the paperwork part is like pretty difficult, but like the day to day, I do a lot of co-teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I work in English classes,
Okay.
like with the English teacher, and that part is amazing for me. I love that. And like
Nice.
I've had really great kids on my caseload, so
Nice. No, that's awesome. So you've done quite a few things, honestly.
yeah. At one point in time, Keene State had an art museum, and I was like the person that watched the art museum. But I got let go because I went to a Red Sox game and called security. I was just like, can you shut down the art museum or can you not open it today?
Yeah.
So I could go to a Red Sox game.
Well, that's what you get. You hire college kids, you're going to have college kids do college kid things.
Yeah.
I want to say this because we did on the post, we had the She Hate Me shirt. Colin Whitehute said, great jersey name.
Yeah.
I think the next generation's not like everybody remembers that in the that first part of the XFL.
Yeah, Rod Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like when I thought up that jersey name, I was like, this is incredible. So, yeah, I had that, and I got a little attitude about it because people didn't understand the reference.
Yes.
I was like, no, it's a football thing. It's not like a I'm better than you thing.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I feel like if you're in our age bracket, everybody remember that. If like you didn't remember anything about the first product of the XFL, you remembered that jersey.
Yeah.
You know, and then he ended up, I think, he played on the Panthers the year the Patriots beat them in the Super Bowl, if I remember.
Yeah, I think
Rod
so.
Smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know he went back to the NFL.
Yeah, that's iconic. I mean, and yeah, like you said, some people just
way over their heads.
And I want to ask this because we've done a few My Social Sports episodes. We've had, or maybe we've only had Rich on the show, but we've had people
Rich
listen.
LaPointe?
No, not Rich LaPointe though. We want Rich to come on. We had Rich Birkland. I don't know if you knew Rich. I don't know if he was part of it then.
No.
But you were around during when it was New Hampshire Sports and Social Club, which I loved that name.
Yeah.
No diss out there to My Social Sports. I do not like this version like I like that. I thought the logo was cooler. I thought everything about it was. But I'm sure there's reasons behind why they made the change. But you were like one of the first, and if I'm wrong on this, but you were like one of the first people to be like, recognized, like you were a field manager and like before it was like this big, it's everywhere now, but.
Yeah, I started off as a field manager, and I did softball, I did volleyball, I did soccer as a field manager, and then I was actually hired to be like a league manager. So I worked with Elijah, who I still just love Elijah. I don't know if he's still involved with them or not.
I think he is. I think it's like him and Steve at this point.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I worked with Elijah directly, and then Kelly Murphy was our boss. And as a league manager, I had so much fun. Just going around everywhere, answering emails. We were in Barstool Sports a couple of times. I was in Barstool Sports before I was managing anything. Somebody had taken a picture of me playing dodgeball, and I ended up in one of those like weird, like, they have like women playing sports and whatever. So I was in one of those, and then somebody wrote an article that wasn't very nice about the league.
Oh,
and
no.
Put my picture in there that was on the website, and I got asked to change my picture to something more sports related. So, I look back on my time there very fondly. The ending was sad. I've never played a sport in the league since my departure. I signed up for one or two, but actually no, I did play one season, but I was pregnant at the time, and I stopped playing when I was 5 months pregnant. So I did play one season of softball, and then after that, I signed up for one more team, and I didn't play, and it was kind of due to some uncomfortableness.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I actually played on one of your teams. Like, I think in 2009 I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that when we went all the way?
I don't think so. I think and it's hazy because now I've been playing softball for 18 years. But I remember driving to Manchester because I lived in Nashville at the time. I thought, I don't know, we were like light purple.
Okay.
I don't think we won it. I think sometimes we struggled to get enough people, but I don't know. I don't remember what fields. Like, and I know all the Manchester fields then. Back then, I didn't know. It's like, hey, can you make it to this place? I'm like, I've never heard of it, but and there wasn't just GPSs to get to. Like, you couldn't just pull out your phone and be like, address. So I think I think I was working at Modell's. I might have called you and been like, I don't know how to. I think I might have been working there. I was gonna go to the game. I probably called you and said, I have no idea how to get here.
Yeah, we were in like fields that were just surrounded by houses, and then there would just be a field somewhere, like not far from Elm Street, and you'd just be like, how did I get here?
Yeah, like what I do recall was when I finally saw like a field and I felt that sense of relief, like I found where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think it might have been St. Anthony's because I'm trying to picture in my head, because now I know the fields of Manchester. I didn't then. From what I recall, it had to have been that because I remember a long walk down to the field and we were in a neighborhood.
Yep.
But those are some good times. Would you ever get involved with that again, or?
I want to play softball so bad. It's just like being a single mom and like Aria being as young as she's been, like I couldn't join a team when she was like 5 because she wasn't going to just sit on the bench and behave. But now I totally could. So like I would love to play softball again. I would totally play again. My nights off are kind of weird. I'm off like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So finding a league those nights.
We do a pickup thing. I'll have to add you to it because this is like come and go as you please type of thing. We just throw gloves in. It's fun. All right. Well, I want to get into one of my favorite segments of the show, which is buy or sell.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a word, a topic, anything. You're gonna tell me if you're buying or selling. We're in training camp right now. Are you still a fan of the Patriots?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not like following them closely, but I watched every game last year.
Okay. I never missed one, but we know that we had some people bitter when Tom left, so I always get a check there.
Yeah.
Not me. I said Tom, I wouldn't have signed him either. He went on to win another Super Bowl, but we really haven't figured it out since. But in 2023, are you buying or selling Bill Belichick as the coach of the New England Patriots?
Buying.
Okay. And you got to explain why.
Just the legacy.
Yeah.
Of Bill Belichick. I mean, I've watched ESPN where they're like, he's got to go. It's past his time. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, he's legendary. What would we do without him?
Well, my thing is there a better coach that could replace him?
Right.
Like, I feel like if you because a lot of people are like they're mad now at this point. But if you let Belichick go, how much more out of hand could things get? I'm not saying like we were just in the playoffs 2 years ago. Last year they fell off, but like you fire Belichick, that doesn't necessarily mean anything's going to get better. Like he did some things last year that annoyed me, which kind of leads to the next question. Are you buying or selling Bill O'Brien as the offensive coordinator, considering what we had last year?
have no idea.
So he used to be he was there when Brady was there years ago. And he left to go coach Penn State. Then he got in the NFL. He hasn't really caught on. He had a head coaching position too. Personally, I'm buying anybody that has experience compared to Matt Patricia.
Yes. Yeah. I just don't know with a lot of the ins and outs. But I just really want them to pull it together.
Yeah, it's been, like, I have to say, the year with Cam, I wanted Cam Newton to succeed so bad.
I know.
It just wasn't going to happen. It was a pandemic year. The next year, they were back in the playoffs. They had a run there that rookie year of Mac Jones where it said, are we a serious contender? We weren't, but we were in the playoffs. And then last year, you thought, Mac's going to be even better than he was. But I don't know if you remember, like, Matt Patricia was announced as the offensive coordinator, and I went, that doesn't make sense, but Belichick probably has a plan.
Right.
There was no plan.
No.
No, that was wild. All right, I want to ask this because I have taken shots at this app many times here on the show. Are you buying or selling TikTok?
Sell. Get it away from me. I have no interest. Like, as a teacher, I just see kids, like, constantly on it, doing the stupid dances, and it's not like, it's not even like the kids at my school. Like, I went to the mall with my daughter last week or the week before just to go to this one store that sold Mr. Beast chocolate. And these kids stopped in front of us to do a TikTok dance.
Oh, gosh.
And, like, I just felt 41 for the first time. And I was like, oh, these kids, like, put the phone down. And, not to turn into Fox News, but I don't like the connection that the software has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the like, we don't know where it's going or what it's monitoring and what detriment it could have. So that's like a hard sell.
No, fair enough. I mean, I will say this, and I've said it on the show. I don't have the TikTok app or anything like that. I watch my TikTok videos on Instagram 3 months later, like a real millennial.
Yeah.
Are you buying or selling slow pitch softball?
Oh, definitely a buy. I've played both.
Okay.
I grew up playing fast pitch, and when I pitch in slow pitch, I have to, like, make myself pitch slower. I would like to see an intermediary.
Oh, like the modified is. Do you know much about modified? Is that more like somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, I was part of a women's league like 10 years ago that was modified. I think it was in Nashua, but it was just a little too intense for me. Like, not the game itself, just the intensity of the players.
Oh yeah.
So, but I kind of worry about, because with the faster pitches and the guys that play, like, I love, like, co-curricular sports, not co-curricular, what am I looking for?
Intramural?
No, like when boys and girls play together.
Oh, co-ed.
Yeah, co-ed. Like, I love co-ed sports, but I worry about, like, the faster pitching, the safety of, like, the first, third, and pitcher, like, with those balls coming right back at them.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. That, it's been really tough with a lot of leagues and just, like, the level of player that should be in a league and stuff like that. And it gets very difficult. As someone that was a president of the league, it's like, you can't really say, like, no, you can't play here. But again, you just have all these different skill levels, and you're trying to make it work. It's tough. Are you buying or selling the name My Social Sports?
Oof, selling.
Yeah, I really miss the old name.
Yeah, I wasn't there when they changed it, and but I wish them all the best of everything. I know I can see why they did it, because it's more of a kind of a nationwide type of name where you could really grow what you're doing. But it'll always be the NHSSC to me.
That's what I like. I still like to call it that, but
Yeah.
now it's so far removed. People don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Yeah.
The Rich LaPointes of the world know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in forever. I don't even know how that name popped into my head. Like I hope he's doing well.
I see Rich every now and then. He seems okay.
Okay.
You know, I sent him a message the other day. He never responded, but Rich is a friend of the show for sure.
Good.
Last one. Are you buying or selling the Boston Red Sox for the rest of the season?
Oof. I'm just always going to buy the Red Sox. Like, no matter what, I'm going to buy the Red Sox. Even if they're not looking that great. Like, if I had the opportunity at any point to go to a game, I'm going to find a jersey and I'm going to go. Like, I'll always buy the Sox. I was able to see some absolutely amazing games, and I love doing schoolwork while the game's on in the background.
Okay, yeah, I love it is really like baseball is the background noise of the summer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have to say, and I feel bad about this, but I am that person that says no to Red Sox tickets all the time, just because I hate going to Boston.
I also hate going to Boston. I don't like having to take the T.
Yep. I honestly, like, someone's like, hey, you know, especially if you ask me on a weekday, like, there's no chance. Like, I remember someone got mad. They're like, you're really going to, you know, it's just a regular season softball game. I'm like, yeah. Like I said, oh, I can't miss this game. They're like, people know playoffs hadn't started or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I just really can't. And then they're like, but I'm like, I'll just be honest with you, I don't want to go to Boston. I'm sorry that I tried to make an excuse and tell you what I am doing that, but the real reason is I don't want to go to Boston.
Yeah.
You know, once people understand that, they stop asking you. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Yeah.
But anyways, Lauren, this has been a blast. Thanks for
Yes.
coming on. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Yes.
Congratulations on 11 and a half years and on to 12. So. But everybody out there, have a good week. Hopefully, you know, we've talked about it on the show. We're getting really sick of rain, but it is what it is. But keep your heads up, and until next time, let freedom ring.